Congratulations on the new album. Can We Please Have Fun out now? It's been a few years since your last album. Talk to me about your creative process. Are you guys kind of like a schedule time? You lock yourselves away in a room or a studio, or are you more casual in your crafting?
It usually starts, like the process of making a record usually starts with usually after the holidays where we're just kind of bored and kind of want to get out of the house for a minute. That's usually how the process starts of us just kicking around ideas. Or in the past it had. This record, I would say, was the most lyrics Caleb had like in hand, ready to go pretty much around the beginning of the process. So that was a lot different on this record than previous ones of right out of the gate. He was ready to go, which was nice. That made it so much easier for the rest of us.
Usually we do like an entire cycle where we make an album and then do promo and then do the big tour. And then we like to take some time after just for ourselves or whatever. But yeah, I think Caleb was the one to initiate this time because I guess he just felt really creative and kind of had a bunch of songs ready to go. And so we just worked them up together. In like January of 23.
Do you guys all kind of take turns, like who is writing, who's handling instrumentation, or is it a group project consistently?
That's usually, say like a song like Mustang, for instance. That was one where Caleb just played the guitar part one time. Jared grabbed his bass, I played the drum, and the first things we played the first time we heard it is what you hear on the recorded version. So it'll happen like that sometimes where it's just like you just naturally I don't know if it's the family kind of thing where you just kind of know where the other one's going to be before they go there kind of thing. When that happens, it's amazing because it just makes life so much easier. But there are times when you'll have two guys that have parts like locked in and you can tell who doesn't have parts because we're like, is this song really that good? It's usually because you don't have parts to the song yet. But yeah, it's a mixed bag. It can be just us right out of the gate knowing what it is, or it can take a second to kind of get everyone to kind of come around to it.
Everyone kind of brings ideas or songs, just everyone kind of steps up at different times, just depending on who's feeling creative, recently or whatever. And then we kind of just work from there. Usually, if Caleb brings it, there's usually the lyrics and then we just kind of write the music, kind of help out with that. But if we have like an idea musically, he'll, sit with it and write lyrics or whatever. So yeah, it's like you said, we all work together.
It's usually whoever hasn't had the most hectic day with their kids that morning, they kind of are in charge of that day's activity. It's like, okay, you're the most sane one right now. We're just going to follow your lead here.
The moment between when you guys are like, all right, album is done, but it's not released yet. What is that in between period like? Are you guys like, we can go back and tweak something, or do you feel like a sense of relief, like you got it all out?
Well, 2 records ago, or the record before this one, we had too much time because we made the record, then had to sit on it for almost 2 years before it came out.
Okay.
So that kind of gave us like, oh, you want time to change stuff and work on it? Well, here's all the time in the world, basically. I personally hated that.
Yeah.
Because I never felt like it was complete. It's like you'd go to bed and like, okay, we got it. Then the next day you're like, oh, but we could maybe do this or that. I don't mind keeping a mess up on a song on the drums if the rest of the song is amazing, or I don't mind scores and stuff like that on a song. So
we're not the kind to really go back and tweak. It's kind of like when we're finished with it in the studio, it's just kind of, it's done, it's ready. This time we're kind of more involved with the creative process, like as far as artwork and things. So we really didn't have much downtime. So it was pretty much the album was finished. And then this was the first time we actually helped mix, I guess you could say helped, because we went to Los Angeles and spent 2 weeks there mixing. and we did that, and then we came back and started working on the like album artwork and then ideas for music videos and stuff. So this has been the most busy I'd say for any album that we've been. It's just Zoom after Zoom with different with different people.
We all just blend into each other eventually.
Uh-huh.
The way music is consumed now has changed so much from your very first album in 2003. Does that impact the way that you guys create music or want to release music, or have you kind of stuck to a tried and true method?
I think this record, we've been the most open to trying new things, whether it's TikTok or whether it's whatever the newest, latest craze is. In the past, we kind of had a pattern of how we like to do things. I would say this record cycle for sure is the most like freedom we gave ourselves and people around us to not maybe be stuck in that, box that we had kind of put ourselves in and on previous records. And it's been fun because we are, seeing the benefits of exposing ourselves to a new audience that we normally wouldn't have even thought of to try to reach. Downside to that is we are realizing we are a lot of kids' parents' favorite bands now and not necessarily their favorite band. So that's been a bit of a slap to the face. Mm-hmm. But it's our fans are growing with us, I like to say. So their parents are fans as well.
Yeah, it was completely different from 2003. So, it's completely, everything is different. So we just try to keep up. I don't know. We just try not to think about it too much and maybe just do what the professionals tell us.
I had just read that, vinyl's been big for years, and what you used to be able to get for like $5, which is why vinyl initially had a comeback. Now you're spending 45 on records again. But also I just read that cassette tapes and CDs are like, their sales are increasing as well. If you have, I know. Well, it's like nostalgia, right? But I'm sure I remember the days of like the Sony Walkman. It was supposed to be skip free. And streaming has made music, you get an entire artist. You get your entire catalog. Do you know what I mean? I pay 10 or $11 a month for Spotify. If you have one preferred method of how to consume music, would that be vinyl or cassette or CDs, or do you just enjoy having everything at your fingertips?
Any way possible. I think any way you can listen to music, it's great. I couldn't believe it when they had us sign CDs, and I was like, why the hell are we signing CDs? This is ridiculous. Nobody wants these, and then everybody has them.
Yeah,
like everybody bought a CD this time. It's so cool. I just think any way you can listen to music is fine. You don't have to be picky about it. My preferred way is, I guess
on tour, your AirPods, whatever. That's probably the best way to do it. But I'll take I have a speaker that I take with me to put in my hotel room for when I'm on tour, so I can actually hear my music and not just through a computer or something like that. But at home, I love vinyl. Me and my wife have a pretty eclectic collection of vinyl, so I enjoy that. And our kid's old enough. Our son, it was a toy there for a minute for him, so we didn't get to listen to vinyl for a few years there, but now he gets it and he's really into music. So we're coming back around to our vinyl.
And vinyl is definitely a special way to listen to an album you love. It's fun to like pull it out and put it on, and it sounds a little bit different, maybe a little bit better,
Yeah.
We have the Disney, like Robin Hood, like the old ones on vinyl and stuff like that.
Really?
So that's pretty cool. And put it on the TV on Disney Plus, whatever. Yeah. Put vinyl on, let your kids like hear it, and they can kind of follow along with the pages. That's pretty cool. Kind of stepping back in time.
That is interesting. I think the idea is like for vinyl specifically, I'm a vinyl fan. It's like the ritual of doing it that's more like intentional and present than just like passive listening or like skip this song, things like that. When you see 1.4 billion streams of Sex on Fire on Spotify alone, does that seem like billion? Does that seem wild?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. We did a deal where Spotify came to our studio and listened to a couple songs from the record, and we had our plaque there. And I mean, they were all like, "Oh my God, we've never seen one in real life. Like, this is it. This is like the real deal." So that was kind of neat to see that. I mean, they worked there and they were like, "Oh my," like they had seen
This is your plaque. Yeah.
Halley's Comet. And we're like, "Oh, that kind of made it real for me that like, man, these people work there and are that, you know, amazed at that." So it's crazy. I mean, I don't think when it came out, we would have ever said that that would be our song that 1 billion, you know, over 1 billion people would listen to, but good on them. Good for them.
I saw a podcast with Snoop Dogg the other day, and he said he had 1 billion streams and Spotify paid him $45,000. And then I thought about Sex on Fire and I was like, shit.
That's what 1/8 of the people in the world have listened to this song, and it's 45,000.
And we've made $11,000 a man before taxes. Before taxes,
important to know because the government's going to get their cut. My last question for you guys. I need you to rank these from your favorite to what can get thrown away, okay? Pancakes, waffles, French toast.
There ain't no way.
Gosh. Okay. Throw away French toast.
The hell?
I'm keeping blueberry pancakes. There's nothing that's going to top a blueberry pancake. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Waffles can be salt, can be savory and sweet. So,
Okay.
so what was it? Get rid of one forever. That's my French toast. And then the other two you can keep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting rid of pancakes.
Keeping
Yeah.
waffles and French toast.
Yeah, totally. Because French toast has got that egg, you know, the egg dip. So it's got a little bit of protein there with it. So I think French toast might be my favorite.
French toast is king.
Have you had a McGriddle? Have you ever had a McGriddle before?
You know what? I just had one and it's not that good.
What I was going to say is never eat a McGriddle because it's not a proper, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I haven't had one. I think I've had one maybe years and years ago, but I do have to give a shout out to Sullivan's Island.
Okay.
My godson lives there. We were just there visiting. Love Sullivan's. We're big fans. We love Charleston and that area. So
Man, it's beautiful. We go down, we try to do a beach trip every single year. And the beach, there's just something like, I don't know if you guys feel like that too when you get to the beach, like your feet in the sand, the sound of the ocean, like everything, all the noise, just everything stops.
I thought that was a waffle mix. I thought you were giving a shout out to a special pancake mix or something.
He's trying to get an endorsement, you know, help with those taxes.
totally.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for the time. Can we please have fun out now? I appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk to us.